I think Detroit would be an extremely fascinating place.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Jay, how are you, my friend?
It's a pleasure to be here, sir. I am just fine.
Good. Good. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Had a long night.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike.
Well, what are you going to do? I couldn't help myself. Sorry.
You gotta stop this,
Got a
man.
little out of control last night. Once you start going down that rabbit hole, though, it's like, oh, there's another guy I'd like to punch in the face. Let me just respond to his tweet. And then it's like, next thing I know, I'm 2 hours in, and people are like, all right, Mike, time to go to bed.
Oh, you need more happiness in your life, Mike.
Yeah.
You gotta just do things that make you happy.
The problem is that does.
It does, okay.
It makes me very happy to just
you
go.
Sure, it doesn't stress you out? It
boom! Well,
you know,
well, it's
grates
funny.
on you a little bit.
Not so much, because I don't mind, like...
I know you don't mind being criticized one bit.
Yeah.
But you get worked up about the news of the day and all that. And
yeah.
You sure you don't need to turn it off for a minute? And...
Yeah, I probably do. But there's something fulfilling about just going, oh, well, you fucking retard. That's the dumbest thing ever. Send. Boom!
And then you
Bomb goes
imagine
up.
that you've changed their life in some way, their viewpoint.
It's so hard to
You
be me,
got, like,
Jay, because...
John in Minnesota sitting there going, God, at Walters Radio, he really...
Yeah.
He had a great point there. In 140 characters, you changed
Yeah.
my life, my whole way of thinking.
Well, I know that that's true. They don't have to say
Is
it
that
in
the
those...
fantasy?
It is. They don't have to say it in those words. the words that I usually hear come back at me where I know, okay, I got through, I won. They didn't have a comeback. It's usually like, you're a racist pig.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You're
oh,
like,
boom.
gotcha.
You don't have a point to argue that, do you? All you can do, now you just go racist. And it's like, win. I'll take it. So it's a lot like that. Like, oh, great point you just made there. I see where you're coming from, but they just choose to say it a different way.
Well, as long as you find fun and humor and
Yeah.
And it pleases you, then by all means. But
Yeah.
I have a feeling it might be grating on you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the ones that really get to me where I wake up and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have sent that thing to that lady last night. I probably went over the line. Are the ones
pics.
that, well, the people that try to argue what if I say anything about Muhammad, Islam, anything like that, it's met with, they don't like that. They don't like you talking about their guy, That's their guy, and they're going to defend that as the religion. They're always going to come back with religion of peace, and blah, blah, blah. You're ignorant. You don't know shit about this religion. I will explain it to you if you like to hear it. And
In 140 characters at a time.
yes, but this is the second time where someone has offered to, like, teach me
Really?
stuff, and they want me to stop reading propaganda alt-right. And they were calling, this woman in particular was calling me alt-right, which is not new. I get that a lot. And at that point, I know I've half won with her. It's like, oh, you're going with the alt-right thing. Cool. My point was not offensive. It was just like, it is what it is. I was like, oh, Muhammad, the guy that raped children, his wife was 6 or 9. There's some dispute over that. And she didn't like that for some reason. And I was trying to be civil. I was like, look, fine. Some people say 6. Some people say Aisha was 9. How about we split the difference and we say she was 8? I'm willing to give you that.
Bag up.
And she just went dark on me after that. So I don't know. I felt kind of bad about that
She
one.
knew she was talking to a caveman at that point.
Yep, I'm a caveman
Getting
and a
nowhere
monster.
with this guy
Yep.
at Walters Radio.
And then
That's the funny thing. I think in a lot of these, both people walk away feel like they won. Because I think you get Walters.
I think
like,
that
you know
lady
what?
thinks she got you.
Right.
well, she said she did come
It's
back.
obviously a cretin. He has
So
nothing.
she just walks away and goes, got him. And then Mike's like, yep, no response. Got you.
When she
Everyone's a winner.
when she
Everybody wins on Twitter. This is good.
we all got trophies. I felt good. She probably felt good. No, when she sent the response to me, it was like she included alt-right, ignorant, and something else I can't remember. Meant to like insult my knowledge and how stupid I am on this. And she was like, "This religion, I'll have you know, is about peace and acceptance and diversity and blah 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 blah." And I just wrote back like, "Oh, really? So men and women are totally equal in your religion. How about the gays?" And it was just like boom, and that's when she disappeared on me. It's like, you're not really going to argue that men are viewed the same as women in that society. Stop. That's retarded. And gays are welcome. Really? Acceptance? Stop it.
At Walters Radio, changing hearts
it's so
one heart at a time on Twitter.
It's so ridiculous. So the same people that on this country, like some person on TV makes a mild joke that maybe insinuates that being gay might be funny, and it's like, fire him, get him, lose his job. And then they just, on the same hand, that same person will defend a religion that, like you said, literally throws gay people off buildings.
Your experience is a microcosm of a story I'm sure we'll get to in a moment.
What he just said right there was not very good, by the way. That's going to piss some people off. And he's like, your religion is chucking homos off the... That's like going, Christianity is about, burning, lynching black people. And like, oh, we're all the super extreme version. I understand that that's not like it. But it's like, it doesn't seem very welcoming in my my opinion as far as
What
ladies.
super extreme version of Christianity burns black people?
Well, not now. I said lynched, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I know. I didn't know where I was going with that, but it was just basically about like your hardest core to whatever side that claims the religion, and the atrocities then get claimed by everybody. So
Could have said murders Muslims.
yeah, true. Yeah, probably would have been better and made more sense. I didn't really make
Been
much sense
historically
there.
true.
The other thing that I wanted to say, because I don't know, has our members area dropped membership like a shitload, like specifically yesterday
Oh,
at any point?
I haven't looked, man, but
Because
it might.
my guess is I wouldn't be surprised, and we got to hang. This might be a tough period. We're going to need to hang through this, but my
Okay.
guess is we probably shouldn't have even posted it, to be honest with you. But
That's a tough one.
there was a discussion and included a couple stories after the show yesterday, and for some reason we posted it. And
You think we've dogged some babies before?
boy, that was
This is
Whoa.
probably the most horrific conversation we've ever had about a dead baby.
and it was lengthy. It went on and on. And no offense, but I blame
There was
you for
nothing
that, Jay.
stopping you from getting into it. It wasn't like you knew you had to move on to another story.
I
So
know.
you were able
I
to
blame
just
Jay.
really get into the nitty-gritty of
He tried to move on a couple times.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I can sometimes go down a rabbit hole and like, well, I can't believe Jay didn't stop it there. Go, all right, enough. What next? Like you can do that, and it's like he's just keeping letting me
Governor
go.
was off.
The governor was off. Jay was rolling in light, and it went dark. It went. So I imagine some people would. First off, Sarah Titties, if you're listening, under no circumstances, absolutely no circumstances, are you to go into the members area and listen to yesterday's conversation. That is a direct order. We don't have many direct orders. Don't Bing image search Blue Waffle, for instance, is one of them.
That's one.
I think we had another one recently too. We demanded people do not do. Was it 2 Girls 1 Cup or?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, 2 Girls 1 Cup is fine. But Ms. Titties, seriously, you do not want to listen to that conversation, and I want to apologize in advance for where that thing went, and hopefully we can gain your trust back.
Hey, before we get on to things, including Big E's big announcement, I have to say it's time for Zott Ford's Red Hot Clear the Lot Sizzling Summer Celebration. Sure, that's a real mouthful, but it's also going to keep your pockets full of cash that you'll save on your next purchase or lease from Zott Ford and Holly. Right now, lease a new 17 Ford Escape for $125 a month, or lease a new 17 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 at $178 a month. See their sensational deals and their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com. Oh, and don't forget to tell them Mike J. or the E-Tard sent you.
Coming up, I think we will do some grievances.
Oh, we will air grievances, no doubt.
Is E's History Day today?
Oh, shit, I forgot. Hell yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
This day in history with Big E. Wow, I'm excited now.
Hell yeah.
I love this day in history with Big E.
I do, too. He's just so great. He's just a great teacher. You should have been a professor, E. You would have been great at that. We've got a big announcement from Big E. We'll do that a little later. I don't know how much of yesterday's press conference you watched, but I don't know what that was about. Dude,
The staff didn't think he was going to take questions. Of course, talking about President Trump coming out of his infrastructure meeting.
No, this is a press conference, Q&A about infrastructure. Go. Because the press is totally going to be like, so what do you think the roads are going to cost? Stop. You knew where that was going to go, and Trump can't help it. This is one of those, like, I'm sitting there going, oh, no, he's not going there. Oh, fuck, he did. Oh. It's like that gawking moment where it's like, oh, please don't say that. Please don't say that. I can't believe you just said that. Oh, my God, this is awesome. Amazing. I can't believe he's dumb enough to say that. The country's going to lose their shit. You could see it coming. And I equate it to this. It's like there was a story the other day about some guy, some idiot that like tried to start himself with a bomb, and he was going to go bomb the where Tim McVeigh bombed. In Oklahoma City. He was going to bomb. He had like 3 bombs, and they caught him before he could, and he's been arrested. I was like, all right, so there's no death and destruction and controversy. So, well, next. It's like, that's a great story. The guys did their job, and they stopped him before he did anything. And Trump's thing reminds me of that, where it's like, people love the train wreck aspect of it.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, I don't know that this country's ready for him to truly be not, inclusive to everybody. Because that was amazing television to watch yesterday.
It was.
He's
something.
Yeah, he is. We've got some clips from it, and we can kind of go down the checklist and just be like, oh, can you believe you said that? There were a couple times in there where I was like, Donald, please, you can't be that stupid. Seriously, you can't honestly think that's acceptable.
Shooting himself in the foot left and right.
Oh.
He's making this presidency as hard as possible on himself.
I know where he's. I know the feel. Like, what is so irritating to me about Twitter is like, I know with 100% certainty I'm right and you're wrong. Why won't you hear what I'm saying? I know I'm right, and I know he's thinking that. Like, I'm just gonna keep talking and you'll understand finally. And it's like, dude, no, they're not gonna go with you on this one. So yeah, he gave that speech yesterday, and he was talking about shared responsibility. He's really, and the sad part is, on a lot of the points he's making, he's right. He's right. There is a shared responsibility in the story of Antifa and some of these violent groups on the left.
But where does it get you? And in this context, where does that get you?
A total loss. A zero.
And I get it. He's the anti-politician. That's great. But at some point, you just have to use common sense. Maybe not political judgment. You don't want to be judged as what politicians would do, but just use good judgment.
Yeah. It does bring into question, like, just simple judgment calls. Like there have been a number of things that he's done that we just scratch our head and go, what? Like, why? Is that a diversional tactic? Like, is he trying to change the subject? He has to be. He can't be that dumb.
Read the room, man.
You know, but when I think about the groups, the hate groups, okay, they do this. This is their point, and we're as a country, and us included right now, we're buying into what they're selling by even talking about them. They're really a tiny fraction of the population. They're not terribly relevant. They wear goofy outfits like we talked about, and they're hateful assholes. But they're looking for you to talk about it. That's why they wear the costumes and walk up and down the street with stupid signs with God hates fags on them or whatever else. It's meant to shock and piss people off, and it does. And but these guys know how to play the game. They know how to do it. They're living in the Stone Age. First off, right?
Right.
You know how they advertise? Leaflets. They are passing out leaflets in neighborhoods. I mean, it's hilarious. But they know how to do this by the letter of the law, and they know they have no wiggle room. They know they're hated. They know they have to go months in advance to get permits. They have to set up security stuff. They deal with the police, and they get everything in order because the First Amendment allows them to go there and do that. No matter how much you hate them, we all hate them. It's their First Amendment right to do that, and so they get everything to a T down. Then they put on their hoods and their masks, and then they start walking down the street, and they're just waiting for you to go, boo, shame, which is the way it usually goes. But the strange thing about this weekend was, for some reason, the police didn't show up and do their job, and have been told numerous times to stand down. And so what do you get? You get these violent groups now just fighting, and it's like, it's terrible. So and so I think that's Trump's overall point is like, you can't just look at, oh my God, they're Nazi racist, so they're automatically wrong, and the left has no blame in this either. Yeah. And I know people don't want to hear this, but if you go online and watch a lot of those videos, before they're edited and chopped up to show, whatever perspective they want to show you, there's a lot of evidence out there about, who was attacking who, both doing it, but, there was a lot of violence on the left. I'm just telling you, go watch the videos online. And so I think that's what Trump was trying to say, but it gets lost in the mix when people are so angry and so mad that he wouldn't, waited a couple days to denounce.
Assuming that's true, you know, why say it now?
Yeah.
Why keep going back to it? Like, because you can? Yeah, you could also pull down your drawers and take a shit. But you don't, right? Because there's civility. There's
Can you, though? You'd be arrested. If Trump pulled his pants down and shit on the stage,
he'd pardon himself.
Oh, good point, yeah. He should do that. That'd be a great move. Could you imagine that meme? Oh, Trump squatting like Big E shitting on the stage. I pardon myself.
All I can think about this is not even really the same thing at all, but when you talk about the idea of him taking a shit, all I can think about is Hillary, remember, back in the...
taking that vicious dump.
I don't remember that.
No,
dude, that's right. Yes. He called her out. That son of a bitch broke all the rules, man.
He did. He alluded to her. How did he say it?
I don't remember.
He did call her out for in the bathroom doing whatever she was doing in there or something.
Quite a long time.
He referenced her taking a shit. Oh, that's great. All right, I had you pull some clips from the speech yesterday. Should we run down some of them?
Sure.
Senator McCain defined them as the same group.
Okay, what about the alt-left that came charging him? Excuse me. What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right? Do they have any semblance of guilt?
Yes, but you can't say that.
Let me ask you this. What about the fact that they came charging with clubs in their hands, swinging clubs? Do they have any problem? I think they do. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was a horrible, horrible day. Wait a minute. I'm not finished.
I love it. Wait.
I'm not finished, fake news. That was a horrible day.
The same level as
I will tell you something. I watched those very closely, much more closely than you people watched it.
How do you know that?
And you have, you had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. You had a group on the other side that came charging in without a permit, and they were very, very violent. Go ahead.
Do you think that what you call the alt-left is the same as neo-Nazis?
Those people, all of those people, excuse me, I've condemned neo-Nazis. I've condemned many different groups, but not all of those people were neo-Nazis, believe me.
Donald,
not all of those
don't go down this
people
road,
were white
please.
supremacists by any stretch. Those people were also there because they wanted to protest the taking down
Go
of
to
the
the
statue,
MOOC.
Robert
Go to the
E. Lee.
MOOC.
So, excuse me, and you take a look at some of the groups and you see, and you know it if you were honest reporters, which in many cases you're not, but many of those people were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. So, this week it's Robert E. Lee. I noticed that Stonewall Jackson's coming down. I wonder, is it George Washington next week, and is it Thomas Jefferson the week after? You know, you really do have to ask yourself, where does it stop? But they were there to protest, excuse me.
No, back on this point?
You take a look the night before. They were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. Infrastructure question. Go ahead.
Infrastructure question. Go ahead. Dude, here's why that's such a problem to say that. Look, they wanted to. There were a lot of guys, good guys, mixed in with those guys that really were upset about the statue.
You just can't win that.
No,
they killed somebody.
Well, even outside of that, let's take Heather Heyer out of this for 1 second. There was a national call to action for all the neo-Nazi, white supremacist, and Klan groups to meet here for this reason. You cannot then say,
And
well,
all,
there's
all
some
300 of them showed up.
Yeah, 200 people showed up, but there was some good guys in it. No, dude, that was a specific meeting place for all the worst white racists in America. And you can't then go, yeah, there's some good dudes in there. That's not going to win with anybody. He's got a great point about Washington and Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, those are very valid and strong points about whitewashing history. No offense to saying whitewash.
It's just that he's so not articulate, as I try to. He's not articulate, and he's not nuanced, and he's not polished, and he can't express these views, right? And so it just comes out as thump.
Yeah. I know, and I think that's what's so troubling when it's like, when people say not presidential, I feel that every time he speaks. Even when I agree with him, it sounds bungled and bigly and
that's
dumb.
And that's fine if you're talking about economic policy and things like that and wanting to change the tax code or the health code, things like that. But this is like, boy, this is emotionally charged shit that's going on right now. If you can't wade through this in an effective way without blowing it up even more, it's big problems.
This takes a very calculated, careful, planned
campaign.
Campaign, and you need to, with respect, on a topic like this, with respect and openness, be welcoming and be very, very careful. The amount of dog whistles that went out in that speech is embarrassing.
And then you have to let surrogates. You have to let surrogates do that sort of thing. If the right is in your ear going, and I'm not talking about these alt-right white nationalist assholes, but Republican conservatives,
Paul Ryans, Mitch,
if they're in your ear going, look, you know, we can't let this pass without the left being whacked a little bit. Ann Coulter's, you know, who would jump behind his statement wholeheartely.
Yeah, and she did.
If they're in your ear doing that, then you go, okay, surrogate, you handle that part of it. I will make a more general, welcoming statement. Yeah. Potential statement.
Yes.
Then I'll let the talking heads on TV take that message.
I think Trump can't get, like, he can't believe he's president. So he is still stuck in this us versus them, and like, well, their side did it too. It's like, no, dude, you're representing both sides.
Yeah.
So your call to action needs to be almost leaning left in your sympathies. You won. They lost. You need to find a way, and you get there's not an inch of wiggle room. You fuck up one word, headline news for 2 days, period. That's it. Nothing else gets done. And so you're walking a landmine field, and you need to understand that, and he doesn't. And I can't believe he doesn't understand
He's
it.
so easily poked. His ego is so easily damaged, it appears, and it is such a run on him by so many millions of people that he's just struggling right now, you know?
Yeah. He's just not articulate enough. He's not.
Both of us struggled with that word.
Yeah, we did. I was like, what was that weird word Jay said? It
Articulatable.
He's not he's art-lickable. He's not that. He's not articulate enough and well-spoken enough to deliver a believable, passionate, welcoming speech. He's just not. Obama was. Bill Clinton
nothing.
was. He doesn't. He doesn't mince words. He's a New York real estate billionaire mogul. And that comes with its faults, which is, well, they did it too. Really? They did it too. Is not what the country wants to hear from you, sir. I don't know. You want to play the other clip? What do we got there, E?
President, are you putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane?
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
I don't mind that point.
On both sides, sir, you said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Neo-Nazis started this. They showed up in Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville.
Excuse me.
Protest.
Excuse me. They put themselves down as neo, and you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group. Excuse me. I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Anyway,
I just keep coming back to this Trump presidency as potentially just a huge lost opportunity for the Democrats.
Yeah.
Instead of attacking and nitpicking and calling for impeachment from day one, I think that dude was a free agent and he was ripe for the picking.
It's a great point that I haven't heard anyone else make. It's true. People love to go, even the Republicans can't stand up. Look, they're all calling. It's like, yeah. That's where the window of opportunity
is. He ebbs
is.
and flows. He was there. You could have become a Trump whisperer.
Yeah, totally.
And you could have had it your way, man.
And he could have gone, shut up. I don't want to hear Paul Ryan. I'm listening to
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck Schumer's
Chuck's
got a great
my guy.
point. Listen. No, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Go ahead, Chuck.
And that honestly would have been quite refreshing to have an intermediary.
Yes.
And maybe some give and take between the two and some figuring out of both sides. Instead, it's friggin' Civil War, man.
And then you could easily play it as, look, on some of these issues I lean right, and I'm going to stick with that. I won, you lost, deal with it. But let's get to go. This is your thing. Let's do it. And then bring them together.
I wonder how much Bannon has to do with that separation and that it is war kind of thing. Probably
quite a bit. Yeah. And he,
Mooch says if it were up to him, he'd be gone, man.
You
He's
almost
the guy
have to. If I understand why if you were on the left and you read Breitbart, it would just be, it comes off as what it looks like. It's got sensational headlines that are meant to piss you off if you're on the other side. Yeah. And so that's his thing. That he did that. And so for people to go, fuck that guy. He stirred more shit and implied more racist and sexist bullshit than anybody out there. And you've got him as your right-hand man in the White House. I get it. I get why that would be. Are you bothered at all with this giant push right now where it's like, you need to denounce. Why won't you say KKK? Just denounce. Please, somebody needs to. And like all these guys have to come out with some great Twitter speech or Facebook post about, I, as representative of California, I find this
it's just
behavior,
easy political points.
Yeah.
It's
awful. No, that's not the word. Let's see. Abhorrent, maybe. Abhorrent behavior by these people. I want to be very clear on the record that I denounce it with all I can.
Wait, you're doing Trump voice right now, but you're representing any politician.
It's just bland politician.
It's annoying, but it's it's political speak and it's easy points.
I guess my take on that is, it's almost insulting to demand that. It's to me. It's like, will you please go out on Twitter and announce the sky is blue? Why won't you just say it? Admit the sky is blue. It's like, yeah, everybody knows that. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't need to go on Twitter and I just want to be very clear. The grass is in fact green. Like, why? Yeah, racist assholes are just that. They're, 99% of the country with a brain knows that, yes, neo-Nazis, racists of all kinds are fucking deplorable monsters. It should go without saying. It's almost insulting that
social
you need
media
to do that.
have given the massive voices that we just never had before and influence to move mountains, man.
And it looks almost like it's used as a weapon against you if you don't do it fast enough or word it properly. It's like no one cares what Marco Rubio thinks. God, my God, please tell me what Lindsey Graham said. What did Lindsey Graham
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham, I want to be crystal clear as Lindsey Graham. Please, can we please find out what Ted Cruz thinks? Does he support Nazis or not? Why won't Ted Cruz call them shit?
That is so funny.
But then it goes into this thing we've talked about with corporations before, where somebody points at, what does Adidas think of the FIFA bullshit and the fraud that went on? And Adidas just whips off a quick little paragraph and is like, why wouldn't you? Like, why? We're to that point. It's very annoying, but why wouldn't Marco just be like, I denounce that wholeheartedly? Yeah. And then be done with it.
And mean it.
But it's annoying because, again, these assholes have the ability to move mountains. Just a few voices out there on Twitter.
And it sucks because nobody gives a shit if you say the perfect thing, but if you miss a word, you don't come strong enough, it's just like, now you're even bigger racist. Oh, my God, I thought he was a racist. Now I know it. It's outrageous. But I liked Baltimore's move yesterday. If you are going to take down statues, if that's the decision, I love the fact that last night at 3 a.m, they took down 4 Confederate statues and got it done without a public, there with their signs and chants and fighting. It was like, to me, that's a great move. Do it under the cover of darkness, be done with it, and move on. Don't let people, it takes one guy on Twitter with half a following to go, we're meeting in the park at 3, to chant to take this statue down.
Baltimore's been through too much lately, so.
Yeah. Well, they did take down some monuments last night. Like I said, work crews used heavy machinery to haul the monuments away. One was to Robert E. Lee, the commander of the Confederate, and the Confederate Army in the Civil War, and Confederate General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. He lost his statue. It was dismantled from the city's Wyman Park deli. A monument dedicated to, this has got to be tough for feminists, dude, this one. Dedicated to Confederate women of Maryland was yanked down.
That's a sticky situation, huh?
Slave lovers.
I know their angle. Well, you should have taken it down. Well, of course, you took the women one down before the men's ones. Well, there's hundreds of men's ones up all over the country, but you sure take the opportunity to get the ladies out of there. So that goes down, and then we've got the Roger Taney statue in Mount Vernon, and yeah, I know. His probably should have gone anyways. Like, if I don't immediately recognize you, dude, you're not statue worthy. Sorry.
You're not gonna recognize all the local, state, and bullshit.
That's when you read the placard.
You know how many ones?
You gotta read the placard, Mike. Every now and then you gotta read the placard.
Dude,
you don't read the placard?
I do read the placard.
The
then I forget the placard.
Because you don't recognize the person.
I think it should be.
Who's the judge, Mike?
Don't hit me with my own logic and points. Stop it. You're making me look the fool. No, it's like Stonewall Jackson. Yeah, heard of him. Great. I don't know what he did, but whatever.
I got very thin skin.
If it's Robert E. Lee, fine, but I don't...
they talked about him on Dukes of Hazzard, I know who they are.
Yes.
Otherwise, leave them alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Roger Taney statue.
That's where you quickly grab your Bing machine and check him out.
Will you Bing image Roger Taney? Let's see what this son of a bitch did. And a monument to soldiers and sailors on Mount Royal Avenue were also removed. The mayor, Catherine Pugh, said crews began removing them about 3 a.m.
So they're dicking with Mount Vernon, did you say? A statue at Mount Vernon?
I guess.
Wow. They're closing in, dude.
Yeah. They needed to come down. My concern is for the safety and security of our people. Good move. Following the acts of domestic terrorism carried out by white supremacist terrorist groups in Virginia, cities must act decisively, and immediately by removing these monuments. Baltimore City Councilman Brandon Skulls wrote, "The folks that are displayed in these monuments were traitors to the United States of America, and we should not honor traitors with monuments. We should not have these anywhere for the public to view."
Man, I'm just worried. This just all seems very short-sighted, and the removal of art and culture and history.
Yeah,
you got to be real careful.
Well, it's never a good idea to judge the past by where we are today. Like, it's a constantly evolving and changing society, and so trust me, you believe it or not, but 200 years ago, you were not going to want to be judged by the standards then for you, because the same thing will happen.
Yeah.
That they'll just rule great men, whoever, Apple creator or something. Oh yeah, he fucking ditched out on his kid.
Yeah, presumably
him,
under the current
Steve
plan,
Jobs.
under the current plan, we'll always be progressing, right? So every year we could look back and point at somebody as non-worthy.
Yeah, and
Unwoke in certain areas.
Yeah, very unwoke. And you can just tear down your history. And I think that's unbelievably bad and dangerous. I don't like the idea of tearing any of this stuff down because, it's like we want to get to this point, and then it's like, yeah, no, you don't. You are always going to be offended by something. There's always more to do, so you can't.
And how does it change anything? Like fundamentally, I get it. It's a symbol. It upsets you, but how does destroying it change anything?
Yeah.
The symbol of destroying it? Okay.
Yeah.
At some point, doesn't that get old, though?
Of course it does. But if if your goal is to find every morsel of injustice, in your opinion, on the planet and just make it your mission to fix that, right that wrong, well, you're just going to be a miserable soul walking around the planet. I saw a lady, Washington Times Ed, I think her name was, and she was discussing this. Lady. I'm just a lady. And she was talking about this, and she was like, maybe what we need to do is alongside Robert E. Lee's statue, we put up a statue of Martin Luther King, for instance. That would be a good move. Otherwise, we're going to go down the rabbit hole. And what's next? George Washington? And I was like, Washington Times Ed has a great point. She really does.
The reason Mike is talking like a man is I walked into his kitchen, and on the TV, muted, was clearly a talking head man.
Oh yeah,
with long hair and a dress on.
Sure.
And
makeup was nice, subtle, not overdone.
I called out the elephant in the room. I said, "That's a dude. That's a dude." And so we unmuted
like, "Are
it,
you sure?"
And we watched it, and she had some great point. She, whatever it was.
I think
Shamali.
And they say. The thing was Washington Times Ed. It was like editorial. So this lady had written an editorial, but they just said Washington Times Ed.
Ed, what do you have to say?
Ed. So we started calling her Washington Times Ed. Now you're in the loop. But I was really disturbed because Jay and I spent the first 3 minutes while Ed was giving her speech about the fact that that's a dude. She should be wearing like a dickie at least, because that Adam's apple.
We were hearing nothing of substance.
Ed could have been making killer points. And so we were able to pause it and rewind it. But, I don't know if I'm crazy about this idea of like, this individual has a great point, and then you put that up and you just leave it on the viewer to go, wait a minute, are we not going to address what's going on here?
Yeah.
Don't just throw that up on the screen and act like that's not kind of different.
That was a tough one.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if this would work, but my suggestion was to have the announcer like, yes, this is Washington Times Ed. I just want to address the elephant in the room. Clearly, you're going to look at Ed and go, what's up with that? And you're not going to pay attention to what she has to say. So, yes.
Get over it.
Ed used to be a dude. Clearly, it's a woman now. So I'll give you 5 minutes to take that all in, and then we'll start. And then you pause. Maybe at 5 seconds, goes off, and it's like, oh, Ed, what were you going to say now? And then we can at least grasp the conversation.
We've digested it.
Yes, we've taken it all in.
Elephant in the room.
Yes. Great news, by the way. Remember that well, we thought it was a guy. I think we resolved that it was probably a lesbian that climbed up the statue.
Oh, yeah, and pulled down the Civil War hero in Durham, North Carolina.
Yes. Was that Robert E. Lee?
No, it was just a Civil War soldier. And that was my
right.
thing. Like, this might be misguided in that it's just a soldier that could have been just fighting for his land.
Anything that represents the South, Jay, is racist and wrong.
Well, you can make that argument with the Confederate flag. It's a very delicate situation, but think about like, I'm sorry to go off on a tangent here, but think about like the pride that the South has. The South is a very prideful and
get off my land!
Get off my land! And they love their neighbors, and they love their beers,
their biscuits,
and NASCAR, and their food choices. Like they're just, as a group, they're more united than the Yankees are for sure. And they're just proud Southern people.
I've seen that team come together this year, Mike.
Well, yeah,
behind Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, Aaron Judge is having a great year. Needs to get those teeth worked on again, but whatever. It doesn't matter. But if you put yourself in their shoes, like these people grew up with this flag, and to them it doesn't represent, oh my God, why are the blacks running around here? We need to enslave them. Like to them, if you grew up and that was on everyone's porch and it represents Sunday with your family and NASCAR and drinking beer and picnics and your childhood. Like it's more ingrained in you on a personal level, so you can see why they would take serious offense to some outsider coming in and going, this needs to be destroyed, I'm just trying to see it from their perspective, like why they would fight for that, because it just means more to them. on a personal level. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
well, there's an unwillingness to drill down on anything beyond race, right? So Jefferson, as has been brought up by a lot of people, is going to be next on the list, right? The Jefferson
for sure.
Monument.
What are they going to do in Washington?
Dude.
I mean, the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial. I mean,
you know, you're unwilling to look at the whole man and see good things that he did, but rather it's just tainted by the racist thing, the slave owner.
Imagine if you decided that all you want to focus on for everything that Arnold Schwarzenegger's done in his career, and you base it on the fat, giant Mexican maid he fucked and had a kid with. Like, if that's what you go, this is the man, boom, and that's all you see of it. Is that a fair description of the man?
In Tom Arnold's words, he would fuck a couch.
He would. You know, I don't know. I understand that comparing him cheating on his wife to owning slaves is probably not a great argument to make, but it was more of a symbolic point.
It's just so obviously a dangerous hole to go down, you know, and when you're talking about taking down statues, where the hell does it end?
Yeah, do you remove Washington from money? Is that the next move after the statue? And I think, honestly, Thomas Jefferson, if it has to come to that point, I think you take him down last.
Whoa, what are you going to do? 2 2s and a 1. What do you do? What if you got to change a 5, man?
You can't do it. We just eliminated the 1.
What about the 2s? That's my concern with Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, the 2. Oh, fuck. I didn't think we can't lose. Would we lose the 1 and the 2?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
How you change a 5, man?
That's as gay as a $3 bill, Jay. We got to invent the gay $3 bill. How fitting would that be to have a rainbow flag on a $3 bill?
Oh, it's as gay as a $3 bill.
That's awesome. No, but I think for your, you know how when you do a fireworks show, you don't do the grand finale at the beginning. So if Jefferson's got to come down, he had a tremendous amount of slaves. I mean, when you think about like who had a lot of slaves, well, fucking Jefferson had
I think he was banging slaves too. I think that's in question.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's your grand finale. I mean, if you're tearing down the forefathers, I mean, save the best for last, right?
Maybe.
So anyway, this woman, I'm glad to report, unfortunately, she will be martyred, but she was arrested.
Okay, the chick who brought down the statue. Yeah.
Probably should have refilled you in on that. You're a smart man, and if you didn't know where I was going, not much hope for the rest
you held up the paper to me, and I thought, people listening aren't seeing you hold up this paper.
Is he talking about the gay bill again, or is he still on Jefferson? No, the woman that we all saw throw the rope around the statue, and then everybody pulled it down. She's arrested on multiple charges, facing prison or jail time for real for that. And I love that. I love that idea. Sorry, sweetheart. You know, she's like, well, these people weren't doing what we wanted them to do, so we took matters into our own hands. I'm like, okay, so mob rule then? Is that what we're going for? You know, no, you don't.
As long as the mob is progressive, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is. That's flat out how it is. As long as the mob is the progressive view, then it is okay. And if it's not, then it's not, right?
Yeah. Takaya Thompson was taken into custody. Deputies deputies found her shortly after protesters held a news conference at North Carolina Central University where she identified herself. It's me. I'm the person that tore that thing down. And so they were like, oh, cool. This makes things way easier. Thanks. You're coming with us. And they arrested her on the spot. So she thinks she's justified. And, of course, they're yelling, shame, shame, drop the charges.
I gotcha.
And so I'm sure she'll be a poster child for martyrdom from this. But I guess what they're doing is they're bringing her up on charges of disorderly conduct by injury to a statue.
Wow.
It's a thing, dude.
When people say there's too many laws on the book.
Yeah.
Whew.
Injury to a statue. Wow. That's really specific.
Yeah.
There must have been an incident that they went, we got to put a law in the books. We can't have people injuring statues like this.
And that was a major injury. I mean, that was a fatal injury to that statue. You saw the neck on that thing?
Yeah.
Woo!
And the legs. Legs aren't meant to bend that way. You know what I mean? And heads and torsos either.
That Confederate soldier did not have much of a spine.
No, he did not. So she also was charged with damage to real property, participation in a riot with property damage in excess of $1,500, and inciting others to riot where there is property damage. So they want charges dropped, of course, but that was what she said too. The people decided to take matters into our own hands and remove the statue. We're tired of waiting on politicians. They failed to act, so we acted. And the sheriff's like, yeah, well, that's illegal as fuck, so you're coming with us. So, which I'm glad to see. I wish they would do that with all of them. And he made a point that said, yeah, we're going through this video, and every person involved is going down to Chinatown, period. End of story. I'm like, good. Throw more of them.
Even that guy in the red shirt that looked like Big E. Big E, you might be in some trouble, man.
Yeah. Maybe we should say, we found him. He's out hiding in Michigan. He's hiding out in Michigan. Show him a picture of Big E. That's him.
Yeah, well, it was also the Texas Rangers game the other night, too.
Oh,
so,
I saw that,
yeah.
I mean, you know.
I don't know if they're going to charge. Like, if you walked up and did one of those half-ass kicks at the statue, are those people included in the...
That's injury to a statue, I would argue.
Yeah, I think I could argue that, too.
Hey, should we air some grievances, gentlemen?
Sure.
Mike, do you have one?
I think so. It's loose. I gotta be honest with you. It's a bit loose. People aren't going to like it. But
For any new listeners, the airing of grievances, the rules there, too, are simple. A member of TSC who purports to be aggrieved shall have 30 seconds to state said grievance.
Before you hit it, I just want to preface this with, this is not one of my final ones. It was kind of a last-minute
Always
thing.
sandbags. The son of a bitch.
I rarely do that. No.
It better not have to do with driving.
No.
It's like, fuck.
I actually thought of one about driving the other day. I can't remember what it was, but I was like,
there's
Jay's going to get mad.
myriad driving grievances.
One. Yeah, I still, people pulling up too far when you're trying to turn left. God damn it!
All sorts of nuances.
Yeah.
After the purported aggrieved states his grievance, the remaining members of TDC, will have to pass judgment.
Yeah.
It will be judged in one of three ways. Either he's being a total pussy, he's being an old man, or what the aggrieved hopes, it's a bona fide grievance.
Well, I'm going back to a well I've used before, and I'm not proud of it.
All right, here we go, Mike.
Well, my grievance is with dishwasher situations where people put the silverware facing up. So the part that goes in your mouth is facing upwards when it's in its little box. It's unbelievable because when I take that out, now I have to put my fingers on the part that you're putting in your mouth. It makes no sense, and too many people do it.
Sounds very personal.
Yeah. Well, it's not just you. There's other people around here that are doing that.
Could there be a reason?
Beth does this.
Could there be a reason people do that, Mike? That they put. Let's be clear now. You have the little box in your.
Isn't that if you put it the other way, they're not going to get washed?
Ah, Big E with a valid point.
Because they're in a container.
You put it up, dude. You allow that washing to get to the top of the.
That's how everybody does it.
That's like arguing putting clothes in the bottom of your washer aren't going to get washed.
I would suggest you quickly Google what is the proper way to load silverware in a dishwasher.
First off, to even put it in that way, you have to grab it from the part that was just in your mouth
Could this
to
just
drop
be
it in there.
Factually wrong grievance to assert this as a grievance?
No.
This could be unheard of. It depends on the Google search, what it warrants, or the Bing search, whatever's going on over there.
Do you honestly think that there's an answer going to pop up with 100% certainty that they're supposed to go up? That's absurd. It's dumb.
What is the best way to load silverware in a dishwasher, Mike? Oh, are we wrong? Oh, no. Place forks and knives with the handles up to protect the hands.
Yes!
Place spoon handles down. Hold on. Spoon handles go down if there's an unusually large load of silverware or utensils in the basket. Otherwise, place spoon handles up also. Best washing results are obtained when the silverware is mixed and evenly distributed, not nested together. Okay, so we've gotten over the idea that it's a factually wrong grievance. Mike is right. They should be posted down. However, let me push...
Bonafide grievance!
Let me push back a little bit.
No, hold on. When he popped that question in there, the answer that popped up should have went, duh. Duh. Like, it's so, like, what are you, retarded? Severely retarded. The answer to that question is, duh. Think about it.
I am thinking about it. And okay, so that's the answer. You're definitely wrong. They should be placed up. Now, the question is it a bona fide grievance to be bothered by the fact that they're different? Because you're not bitching about them not being clean. What you're bitching about is taking your grimy hands and touching what then goes into the mouth. I would suggest you, sir, if you keep your hands clean, this grievance doesn't exist.
No, I don't want to wash my hands that many times a day, and I don't want to look in the drawer and go, did Jay pull this out of there? I don't know, maybe E. I don't want E's fingers pulling a fork out of there.
He would never, ever think to go in there.
Sure. No, it's such a no-brainer to me, and I just...
It is funny, dude.
It's those tiny... And I would think it shocks me, Jay, that you, of all people, you're so...
You think I'm really way more anal than I am.
No, I think of you as doing things that like obvious things. There's an obvious way to do things, and this is the right way, end of discussion. And that
I honestly, I thought it was the right way to do it the other way. I think maybe my mom taught me that or something. I thought they
Your
went
mom's
up.
not that retarded. She's not.
I thought they went up.
This is another article that says almost all dishwasher manuals manufacturers, website, and company spokesmen agree on one thing: load knives with blades down to avoid injury.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, sure.
Dude, I totally knew knives down to avoid injury.
Oh, cool. Maybe you can tell about
but
that.
forks and shit.
But manufacturers aren't unanimous about forks.
Oh.
LG and Bosch suggest
Oh.
forks down
Oh, oh.
for safety,
Oh,
but
don't-
Kemmer manuals suggest forks up for best results.
Wow.
This is one of those 4 out of 5 dentist degree. Don't give me
It's a
this.
thing, though. That's the funny thing.
It's debatable. Yeah,
It
it's
is
not
a thing.
debatable.
That's the funny
Okay,
thing.
the facts are called into question again. The basic facts. Wow, what do we do with this
Just
grievance?
fucking load them
What do we
correctly,
do?
dude. Load them correctly. It's bona fide, period.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you bona fide because it's your house and it's annoying that you have to deal with the break room.
Yeah,
You know?
I never thought other people's utensil and dish handling processes
Could be
would
so
affect me
disparate.
and would be. It's just like, no, you rinse a fucking plate. Don't take the shit on there. What are you, a moron? And that silverware. No, dude, just rinse it off. I pulled a knife out of there. I almost put it in the drawer. You know what was on it? An inch thick, burned into the knife of peanut butter. Who does that? Who?
Beth?
I don't know. It's shocking to me. It's never happened until I had a house full of people, and now
Definitely a real argument, but there's several things out there where people debate on whether
About how to put them up or down?
I guess I'm gonna say bona fide. Although I gotta be honest. No matter what I read on here, I can't believe that it's getting clean as good with that fork down. That it's up.
Yeah, that's always my thought. I'm not doing it like to piss somebody off or to be stupid about it. It was always my thought that you put them up so they could get clean better. But if you want them the other way, I can totally do that.
All right, you sure that's not too
And
much to ask?
I respect your opinion on that, and
Well,
it's your house, so.
It's troubling to me. If we cannot, as a society, agree with 100% certainty which way the silverware goes
How are
in
we
the
going to
dishware,
solve the race issue?
we ain't never solving it. Never. It's way more nuanced than the duh that is the silverware discussion. We're in
right.
trouble. Go
I'm
ahead.
ready.
All right.
Fruit that looks good on the outside, but is nasty on the inside. Best examples, common examples, include bananas, apples, those shit apples where you take the time to clean it, you rub all the shit off, you bite into it, and it's grainy, or it's brown, or half rotten.
Grainy apple. Gross.
Peaches, nectarines, they look great on the outside. You bite it, oh, it's like trash. A watermelon, you take the time to cut it, it turns out to just be bland, not sweet at all. I don't know who's to blame for this or how we fix it, but that's my grievance, dude.
Farmers.
Admittedly, I am a fruit snob. So I am very sensitive to blemishes on fruit. I think that came from my frugal upbringing and that my mom would make me eat whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I can't. I can't eat that peach. It's gross.
I see. I don't know that bananas are. I've never seen one that's
Dude.
rotten inside when
No.
it's nice bright yellow on the outside.
Definitely
I'll have
have.
to take your word for that. I'm not calling you a liar. The grainy apple is what sold me as a bona fide grievance. The grainy apple is
Driving me
infuriating.
nuts. It looks beautiful on the outside.
Yeah.
It look perfect. Isis, chime in.
I would go with pussy and old man. I don't have any clue what you're
You'll
talking
eat
about.
anything,
I guess,
won't
but
you?
yeah, I guess I don't care, so I just eat whatever.
Yeah.
So.
To make you feel better, Jay, I will inform you that peeled a banana this morning when we were outside and promptly dropped it on the ground and then picked it up and went, God damn it, and ate it. It was just filled with dirt from the driveway. So, if you're worried that
your
he's-
driveway, I probably wouldn't do that off of, but
Yeah.
other people's, I might do that. I might rub, jump
Not
on
a
it.
banana, dude. I could see other fruit, not a banana though. It's just
It's very
all mushy and
adhesive,
sticky.
very
Yeah,
adhesive.
it's like tape.
Yeah.
I really
Sticks to
wanted
it.
it though. I guess I really wanted a banana.
The other ones are plums and peaches. Those
Yeah,
can get
dude.
fucked up so easily.
They look
It's like,
so good on the outside. That's my
Oh.
point. The ones you're ready for, man.
Yeah,
and
and
you
it's
bite
like,
in. Damn it! It's probably a metaphor to a larger issue, but that's my grievance.
I like it.
Jesus, go.
Jesus, impress us.
Dude, when you're going to fast food, I know they switch the menu up once in a while, dude. But we all know, like, Taco Bell is Mexican, Burger King and, McDonald's are generically hamburgers, maybe some chicken sandwiches.
American fare.
These people that sit there at the McDonald's and it's like 10 minutes, like, what do I want? Just pick something. And if you can't, then drive away, decide later. You're at a fast food place. It's all shit. Just pick one of the things that's the best.
Wow, you're talking about the drive-through. You could have melded this into a very bona fide grievance had you focused on just people who pull up and don't know what they want at a freaking drive-through. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Is it-
But he
isn't that
didn't
what-
do that.
he
I know,
Instead,
that's what I said.
I
said
thought
pull
his
away,
grievance
pull away.
sort of was in. I think he tried. You said it way better.
Oh,
than me did.
okay. I thought you were going like that Taco Bell would, or McDonald's was introducing Taco Bell type. Maybe I wasn't listening.
No, it's hard. You gapped out on it. You did. I don't blame you. I was trying. It was killing me, but I was like, stay focused, because I know Jay could easily fall off.
What I said was, I know that sometimes they have new menu items, but for the most part, you know what it is.
Gotcha. Yes. So I'm with you. I'm with you, dude. If you pull up to a drive-through, you've been to McDonald's before. You've been to Burger King. You know what's basically there.
Yeah.
Order your shit and move on.
I'm going to say pussy and old man, but you bring up some valid points, and I will think about those in the future, E. You honestly do, because I hate that, too.
People should know, dude.
No, I know.
Here's the thing. I don't care if this is after the thing. You've already made your old man and pussy thing.
Yeah.
Dude, here's the thing, dude.
Which
Like I
killed me to
said,
do.
I know that they, once in a while, I've been there, too. You don't know what you really want. But dude,
drive-through isn't the time to do that, though. If you want to do that, you go inside and you stand back and let other people go to the counter.
Fucking behind. Now, if you're sitting there,
drive-through's not the time.
Right.
No. Dude, if you make the decision, you're sitting on your couch and like, fuck, I want
I need a
McDonald's.
Whopper, no onion.
Then you have from that moment till you pull up to the drive-thru to think. You know everything. We could go down the list and know every menu item.
And see if something new is on there. You're right, E. Totally bona fide.
Yeah, pussy old man still, but nice try. It's not bad. It's not bad. Good job, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today. Tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. Call 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark. E, did you have something to add?
Yes. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Jay, I don't know how much more of this I can take. It is terribly, terribly frustrating for time after time after time. Us as a team to solve some of the toughest problems in history.
Conundrums.
And we give the answers, and they're right there. We've thought about them, and it's like, here's how you deal with this.
Life's mysteries solved.
For instance, roll. When you came up with roll, I mean, it was like a light bulb went off. And it was like, who was the prick that came up with stop, drop, roll? Like, no. Roll!
You're on fire, man. Roll!
Like, stop and drop is just an automatic. I'm on fire. Like, dude, no, you just need to roll. Because in order to roll, you have to stop and drop. It's built into roll.
Eliminate useless words.
Yes.
I couldn't believe at the time, by the way. I know it's come up, but I couldn't believe the time that I was at comedy one time and someone told that as a joke. And I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Really?
Yes. It was at
Stole
Max.
my roll joke?
At Max one time. Someone during their set.
Yeah, they do it, dude. People
roll.
will do that.
So. Yeah, we've heard things around town.
They'll yeah.
We've heard things around town used.
People are known to do that. Lift something and then go present it as
That's
their own.
okay.
We've probably done it too. I'm sure I've got an idea and and then it's like, I think later, like, wait,
E and this whole jackass thing, but whatever.
Wait, did I just quote Sam Kinison and claim it as my own? God, what a dick. No, but it's frustrating and I don't know what to do. It's like banging your head against the wall. I solved the tree falling problem. I solved it. You know what I mean? Oh, listen to that sound. Look up. Oh, there it is. Step to the side. And it's
time after time we see people not paying attention to this.
Dude, and it's just like, I take it personally. It's like, I can't give you the answers if you won't take them in. Oh, look up, locate. There you go. Step to the side. It's,
You can lead a horse to water.
Yeah. And that's all we can do. If that horse decides to sit in the water, it's like, okay, dude, I did my part. But it's terribly frustrating knowing that you're preaching the answers and they won't listen. I solved the abortion debate in this country single-handedly.
I don't remember that.
And nobody wants to implement it, and it's terribly frustrating. You know how some people love abortion and want to kill babies, and some people hate it. Hate it. And you help me with this, and I'll give you 50% credit for this, Jay, because one day I went, Jay, why do people on the right, you're not supposed to judge. Your dude says don't judge. So why do you get all mad at them when they want to murder their baby? It's not your call. They'll face their maker if you're right, and then they'll deal with it then. It's not for you to judge. Don't do that. Don't judge. And you go, yeah, dude, it's not really about that. It's that people don't want to fund that. So people that their taxes go to those programs, And so they don't want to fund that shit. That's personal to them, and they feel like they're partly to blame by funding it. I said, so it got me thinking. I was like, all right, I could solve this problem. It's terrible for this country to have this hanging over us. And so my answer is, if anyone's listening, we have a one sheet on our taxes, right? This is a brilliant idea. We have a one sheet on our taxes, and we take the 4, 3, 5, whatever, most controversial topics in this country. That would be abortion.
Funding Confederate statutes.
Yes. The military. The military.
We cannot allow people to choose whether they support the military or not.
You put those 4 on there. The ones that fucking people fight about. I don't want to fund that. Fuck you. And you put them on there and you go, all right, you can pick one. You can pick one, check that box, and then we will promise you that none of your taxes will go to that. It will go to the other stuff, but you can take one off the list. And you go, I'm not funding the military. Check the box, fuckface, and you can check that off, and that's your thing. And so all the people that are like, oh my God, it's murder to babies.
This is the box I'm going to check. I'm not funding the additional department that you'll need in order to process these one-page forms.
I did it, dude. I could type it up this afternoon. Just all you got to do is staple it to the end of the taxes. If you're interested, choose one. Otherwise, we're going to fund all this shit. And then it's like, now, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you bitching about abortion. You're not paying for it.
That handles that one side of abortion, but it doesn't handle the people who object that just say it's flat-out murder. And
fuck those people. I'm worried about the bigger fight, you know? You can't please everybody, but you can solve a lot of that problem.
Yeah, piece of it.
Yeah, and so these brilliant ideas, when do they come to your mind or my mind? I don't know, but they just do. It's like a light goes off. It's like,
gentlemen.
So, you know, we've had hundreds of years of politicians debating and fighting and the public getting split down the middle, and it's like, yeah, here's your answer. There you go. Cheat off my paper. There you go. Solved. Next. What's the next problem?
Common sense.
Common sense, yes. So feel free, if you guys want to call your senators and stuff and say, hey, by the way, we figured out abortion. Got a great idea if you want to hear it. Go ahead. Take it.
Call Kid Rock right now.
Yes, thank you. Senator Rock to you, sir. But, yeah, it breaks my heart when I see this. A family of 3, a mother and 3 kids, walking down a street in New York, and a tree decides, I'm out, and just, like, falls over.
A mighty elm.
Yeah.
Not so mighty.
Dude, look at that sidewalk and everything. Like, dude, he looks like a healthy tree.
Like, what kind of windstorm are you walking in that tree falls in your path?
I mean, as far as, like, strength of
it's a beautiful tree.
Yeah. When you talk about the strength of a stalk, does that...
That is a strong stalk.
Yeah.
It would look, by all accounts, to be a healthy, fine tree.
Yeah. I bet it was infested with one of those bugs that gets in there and fucks it all up from the inside.
The emerald ash borer.
Dastardly. You don't see it from the outside, and it's just dying.
Eaten the inside.
Eaten. So she's walking down the street in Manhattan, and she's being called a hero. We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
After she broke her neck while shielding her 3 children from a falling tree in Central Park.
So this hero puts her children in the path of a falling tree. Okay, go on.
Anne Monoky Goldman, so we'll just call her Anne Goldman, bravely, and I do mean bravely, threw herself over her baby and 2 toddler boys.
Dude, she ducked. She ducked.
Yeah. When the giant elm toppled on top of them at around 10 o'clock yesterday in the morning, she was strolling through the park with her 1-year-old son, James, strapped to her chest.
Baby Bjorn, no doubt.
While her 2 children, Grant and Will, were in a double-wide stroller. Okay, you can picture this?
By one account, I heard the stroller likely saved them.
Oh, wow.
How about this? She's walking along. She puts her kids in harm's way.
Yeah. Yep.
Stroller saves the 2 in the stroller. She ducks to save herself, thereby saving the kid and the baby Bjorn.
Natural response. Are you trying to tell me, like...
This is heroism?
Yeah. If the natural response whenever we're going down is we fall down backwards, she would have fallen down backwards.
Right.
And the baby in the Bjorn would have been toast.
Instead, she went,
ah! And she did naturally.
Turtle.
It wasn't like, oh, my God, my children.
She turtled.
She turtled.
Save my head.
Whatever. She's a hero. Great. The family was walking when a witness say they heard the terrifying noise of the tree giving way. Yeah, that one. They heard that. Look up. Okay. And,
step to the side.
No problem. They heard the terrifying noise. So it's not like they could go, I didn't hear the crack.
Fell out of nowhere. It was,
crazy.
No one was present, so it didn't make a noise.
Yeah. No one was in the woods, so we didn't hear it fall, kind of thing. Like, she could have used that argument. No, but there were witnesses who were like, oh, it's terrifying. Loud crack. It's a big tree. That would take a while to come fully down. they could have all been killed. Goldman's motherly instincts to shield her children saved them. Antonio Russo said he was riding his bicycle when he saw the tree begin to fall, when the frightened mother started screaming. So when the tree went down, he hears her screaming. She came to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seems a bit odd.
And started crying. Oh, my God, dude. She started crying. She came to and then started crying. First off, why is he coming? And why is she also coming?
He's not a selfish lover.
I guess. Dude, have you ever been in that situation where you're with someone and then when it's over, they start sobbing? Oh, those women. Cuckoo, cuckoo. I've been with women like this. She came and then...
Did that give you pause as to, like, was that, like, consensual?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah, but there was no doubt.
You got
I
to
mean,
thinking,
they
like,
lie,
you
but...
rewound it, and you're like, did I overstep my bounds?
Fuck. I knew as soon as she woke up, I should have, like, announced, I've been here for a few minutes. Don't worry, it's just me. But I didn't. This is borderline. No, I had that happen when I was young with, I'm thinking of one girl in specific, where afterwards she was just like, oh my God, you're going to think I'm a whore. And I'm like, totally, but I'm still here. It's cool.
Let's do it again.
Crying. I feel like such a whore. I can't believe I did that. Like, you are a whore, but who cares? It's fun. So yeah, when she came to and started crying and going crazy, boy, she sounds like a handful, doesn't she? And she was yelling for her baby. Good Samaritans rushed to help. They were breaking tree limbs off her. New Yorkers are great, man. This guy was quoted. I'm assuming they like quickly filmed something really quick first.
I know. Where's the footage, man?
Yeah, and then they ran over there. Help out, but film first. Go live. The FDNY said the mom hit her head trying to protect her children. All right, enough with the overdoing the protection of the kids.
Yeah, how did she protect the two in the stroller? Tell me about that. Was she draped over the stroller? Did she push the stroller out of harm's way? No, the thing fell on all four of them.
Yeah, that's the move, right? Like, just
yeah, it's got wheels.
It's got wheels. Get it out of the way. She was taken to the Presbyterian church there with a fractured neck, and her husband Kurt.
Oh, good, perfect place.
Yeah, Kurt. They and her married in 2013 and have these three boys. Kurt, along with his brother, they run a spirits company.
Have you seen a picture of this family? They look straight out of the Aryan Nation, man.
Really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, very, very white.
Very white, very blonde, blue-eyed.
Imagine if Kurt was just in a bummer of a marriage and how close he came to absolute freedom. Fuck! He's like, wait, all three kids and her? Giant elm fell on him? Fuck yes. What's, excuse me, this is terrible news. What's their condition? Well, we're not sure they're going to make it. She broke her neck. And he's like, dude, he's out. He's like high-fiving his buddies, calling him out, dude, it's game on. Let's go to Vegas. And then it's like, dude, they're all going to pull through. The kids are going to be fine. And mom will make a full recovery, too. And Kurt's,
great. Thank God.
Dude, I run this, like, wine company with my brothers. Dude, I was about to live the dream. The dream.
Maybe. You have on me?
No.
I think she panicked, in the moment, because looking up and locating is really the key. And you've got to make quick judgments to pull this off, because all you're trying to do is avoid the stalk part of the tree. You want it, like, you can take a branch or two and survive that. But if you can avoid 2 feet to the left of the stalk, 2 feet to the right of the stalk, whatever.
Well, you just described stepping aside as the key.
It is, but if you don't look up and locate, like, she probably just started to run.
Look at that guy.
Wow.
He's like, right?
Yeah, I'd like to see his salute.
Seriously, man.
Wow. Yeah. Wow,
It's like a war criminal right there.
Yeah, that is Aryan as shit. He'd look good in a tiny mustache, I got to tell you. You know what I mean? He would.
Look at those poops.
Yep. Boy, oh boy. Yep, they all made it. Still there for Kurt. Yeah, I think she probably panicked and was running with the tree.
That happens a lot. It's very common.
Yeah. Did you see the other one, too? In, I don't know what country it was. People were tweeting it at me.
It's like 11 people or something.
11 or 13 people taken out by a giant tree. And it's like, God, they can get our podcast there, right? We're worldwide.
It's happening too much. I mean,
dude,
if we can just save one, I'll be worth it.
13, that's inexcusable. They're not getting the message there,
Hey,
it's terrible.
Everybody, please use our affiliate links at DetroitCast.com. You'll see links to Amazon and Groupon. Many of you shop on those sites. We're happy to have partnered with both through their affiliate programs. You'll find great deals through both Amazon and Groupon. Please enter both those sites through the links we provided. Again, you can find those portals to Amazon and Groupon on our homepage, DetroitCast.com. It's back to school shopping time, gentlemen. You listeners out there ought to be doing that through Amazon for sure.
Hell yes. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back, and we got to do 2 stories at least. We've got Elvis, man. Fran's coming out and
Death Day, baby.
Yeah, it's Death Day. Happy Elvis Death Day, everybody.
40 years.
Yeah, can you believe it? Man, it just seems like just yesterday. And then we've got a poor woman. It sounds like she was raped at a college in Michigan. Oh, wait, maybe she wasn't. We'll get into that next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
During this break from Mike and Jay's hard-hitting analysis of the latest stories about dead babies or strangely shaped tumors out of India, I want to encourage you to contact Brent Wasik about insurance. Yeah, I know, auto, home, and life insurance isn't as exciting as the latest toy, but it's important that you have the insurance coverages you need at the lowest possible price. Call Brent today at 734-455-1900 for a free quote. Brent's been in the insurance business 29 years, almost as long as Big E has resided in his poor parents' basement. And he's affiliated with tons of insurance companies, so he can shop for the very best prices. Call Brent today, 734-455-1900.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. We'll get to E's history lesson in just a moment, but
we have a very important announcement to make.
Yeah, this is big league for sure.
It
No
is
doubt
big.
about it.
I have an announcement from Ryan Hertz, who is the CEO, captain, leader of South Oakland Shelter, who you will recall is the operation that we helped raise money for in February.
Yeah.
For the homeless. And
we raised, what did we raise again? Our listeners raised again? Like $31,000?
I think just over 31.
32, I thought it was even. Well,
whatever, between 31 and 34, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was in large part on the shoulders of young Isis, who was willing to sit out in the driveway and live stream that shit and talk it up.
Yeah, he was dance monkey. Dance monkey, dance. And
Eat
people-
your hat.
Yeah,
oh,
eat
I'm
your
not going to
hat.
eat my hat.
Drink your piss.
But I'll poop on the driveway.
I will drink my piss for a nickel. Thank you. Very generous.
And then we had that incident where the brakes on the Zott Ford courtesy vehicle went out.
Oh, yeah.
And I went
of course.
careening into the tent.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my quick reflexes, my cat-like reflexes, helped
Absolutely.
me to avoid
It was heroic.
any injury to young Isis.
The only injury we had there was it knocked out the internet connection for the live streaming, and
For a minute.
Yeah, went caveman-like. And
You
it
went
was
caveman, and you had the wherewithal to film it.
Yeah.
So
Is
that was
that an
good.
extra content?
That is an extra content.
Yeah,
you will
it's
see
great.
E madder than I've ever seen him.
He was a hornet. He was mad as a hornet.
He was a rattlesnake trapped in a corner.
Yeah, yeah. He viewed you as the stick that was poking him.
Fuck you, dude!
He was so mad. Remember, he stormed in and got his keys and he was going to leave?
I'm leaving.
I'm gone.
He
Fuck
came
you,
out,
dude.
He's kicking stuff. He's kicking at the air and stuff.
He got so mad. He swung his arms and his keys launched out of his hands, and then he had to go embarrassingly and pick them up.
He was frustrated.
He was so angry. It's like, dude, calm down. Jay, you were like the bus driver who could have run over the girl, the jogger, on the Putney
But
Bridge.
quick thinking,
dude,
and cat-like reflexes
it was
saved
amazing.
you.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
The fact that I was recording at that exact moment, you would have thought it was almost a setup.
The fact that it happened again later in the week, I don't know.
Whatever, yeah. Tricky brakes.
Brakes
It wasn't
are
your
squishy.
car.
They were squishy.
Not your car. Yours was in the shop, remember? In the shop.
But anyway, back to my point.
Sure.
So Isis helped raise some funds, right?
He did with
Well,
us. I don't know if he, what percentage of that credit he deserves, but whatever. The three of us did.
Ryan
sure.
Hertz of SOS fame chimed in with an exciting message to E, saying, "I'm reaching out to share some exciting news. The SOS Annual Meeting Committee has selected you, Big E, to receive this year's Volunteer of the Year award.
What?
At our upcoming annual meeting."
Did you see what he did?
Did he sit back and do the hand thing on his,
He put
on
his
his sneech-like belly, right over the star?
Right over the star. Well, the spread out. Well,
In honor of
I
your
need
efforts.
suspenders. I need suspenders at these moments.
Yeah,
That's
you
really-
do.
That's really when you can.
This award is in honor of Big E's efforts to creatively raise awareness of homelessness and generate donations for our mission. We're hoping that you'll be able to attend. Join us at our annual meeting. Oh, at the Kirk in the Hills. Well, in Bloomfield Hills. Will you be able to attend? Will you be able to attend, Big E?
Oh, of course. I mean,
yeah.
anytime that someone's gonna have, I'll go anywhere that anyone has me for one. But for an award, such as this one,
Did your response include, however, I will need a microphone and I will be giving
Well,
a
I
speech?
hope there's a speech. I definitely hope
Yeah.
there's a speech, and
You
some
won't
sort
be
of, some
brushed
sort of
aside.
Food. I hope I get like an open bar or some food or
Yeah, Kirk in the Hills Church. I'm sure you will.
Well, this is amazing news. I mean, what earner of the year or volunteer?
Volunteer of the year. Man.
Wow, that's incredible.
You son of a bitch.
You do have to go. I mean, you are the
No,
guest.
I will
they
be
can't
going.
have it without E there, right?
No.
I will be going.
They can't have their annual meeting without E.
Yeah. The question is, will you and I attend?
Ooh, that is a good question. Are
You
we
know?
invited? I mean, the other 2/3 of this idea and pulling this off. I don't know if we
Well,
deserve
I
it,
didn't see your
Mike.
name. Yeah, I didn't see your name.
Yeah,
in
I don't
the
know,
Message.
yeah.
He didn't seem to reach out to
I
you guys.
Well, you'll have a
apparently.
guest list. I mean, clearly you'll have a guest list.
Yeah, but I gotta try to save that for maybe a pizza ass or something.
Oh yeah, sure. That's likely. You'll get a hooker at the end of the night. Whatever. We'll even get you a celebratory hooker as a
He
reward.
walks in with a big pregnant hooker. This is my date, Mr. Hertz.
It doesn't matter anyways, E, because I have a long-standing policy of not RSVPing. Respond soon, very pleased, I think is what it stands for. I don't do that just in case something better comes up that
Right,
night.
I
and
understand.
I don't want to ditch out on you. That's a dick move. So
Yeah.
let me know as it draws
You have
closer.
a lot of
and-
stuff come up apparently.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah, what day is that,
it's a
Easus?
Thursday.
Oh, man.
Thursday.
Okay, Thursday at 6 p.m. Ooh, that's tough. That's
I know,
tough.
That is tough.
Yeah, well, okay.
Well, I'll be there.
That's great news. Now, moving on from that, worse news. Big E history moment. Here we go, buddy. Are you ready?
Not really.
You ready with some facts? You going to dazzle us?
Let's see. So anyway, it was on this date, August 16th, 1812.
Yeah, that Elvis died. Let's go. Get on with it.
Detroit. No, this was in 1812. though.
Thank you very much.
The Fort Detroit was surrendered to the British in the War of during the war as one of the battles in the War of 1812.
Fort Detroit?
Yes, and it was surrendered rather easily, I might add, without a battle whatsoever.
What?
Only
just handed over the keys?
Kinda.
Is he shitting on America, and not just America, but Detroit now?
Easy.
I mean,
are you trying to lose listeners? We lost half of our membership base yesterday with a discussion that you allowed to go into the extra
Last
content,
week,
and now
the
this.
Kellogg's family, and now this?
I'm
Man.
just saying that the General William Hull, who was presiding over Fort Detroit, gave up rather easily, and actually wasn't even outnumbered. He
have some palms
he had
greased,
more.
do you think?
He had He had more people to fight off than the people that took the fort.
Do you think he was
without
handed
a
some
battle?
beaver fur on the side?
Well, there was some speculation that he was drunk at the helm.
Wait, are you calling the leader of Detroit a pussy and an alcoholic? Did you just call Bill Hull a pussy? Basically?
Well, Michigan wasn't a state at this point; it was just a territory. But what happened was that this was seen as to be pretty deep because the war was. America wanted to get more Canada. They wanted to get more up northern to Canada and take that Canada territory. And even though Detroit wasn't part of Canada, it was a kind of under America, but it wasn't a state yet. And so this was. So my point was when you say it wasn't really, I'm not shitting on Detroit necessarily.
It sounds like you are, but
it's kind of important in that it's right at that inlet there,
yeah,
right? I mean, kind of an important waterway, right, Professor?
Yes, exactly. But water.
What were they going to do? Just go across the bridge and then
the bridge
storm
was
Canada?
The tunnel. What about the tunnel?
No,
yeah, that's even better.
Point.
If you storm Canada through the tunnel, what year did you say this was?
1812.
Sneak attack through the tunnel.
Dude, sneak attack in
August
1812. I don't even know if they had electricity then. You could get so far before you'd be on them before they knew it.
Well, here's
You'd be
what happened.
raping and pillaging their whole towns.
Here's what happened. William Hull he made a few mistakes, to be honest with you. When he got into Fort, once the war was officially on, the War of 1812 was on.
Yeah.
They moved their way to Fort Detroit, and his whole way of fighting what was going to happen is just writing this letter. He just wrote a letter to the Canadians and the Indians, kind of saying, "Hey, we're just here, and I'm not looking for enemies, but if you're here, we're here to fight." And he thought his lettering and his wording would be enough to just to scare people off. And so it's in this word, I know I'm gonna read here, but that's what I'm gonna do. General Hull was so preoccupied with his attempts to terrify Canadians with printed words that he neglected the American forts on Lake Michigan. As a result, the British took over Fort Michilimack and Fort Dearborn in Chicago. So
this guy is such a total pussy. It's
that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what happened. General Isaac
Was
Brock,
it a sternly written letter? Do you know?
I have the letter here. I mean, if you
Why don't we
to
let
read it.
Jay read that? I don't want you reading a letter.
Boy, this is
that's
printed out by Easus, though.
It goes to...
What are the relevant parts? We don't want to torture
It's not
the
that
audience.
long of a thing. Where did it go? Shit.
Oh, my gosh.
What accent are we using here?
Put it up on the overhead projector.
I don't have it on the overhead projector.
I mean, were these guys from Europe? Is the Crown going to speak, or are they native Detroiters? What's going on here? Bill Hull.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's kind of long. I guess it's
the
kind
voice of Bill Hull. Let's see.
If it's sternly written, I'm with it.
Inhabitants of Canada, after 30 years of peace and prosperity, the United States have been driven to arms. The injuries and aggressions, the insults and indignities of Great Britain have once more left no alternative, but mainly resistance of unconditional submission. The army under my command has invaded your country. The standard of the Union now waves over the territory of Canada. To the peaceful and unoffended inhabitants it brings neither danger nor difficulty. I come to find enemies, not to make them. I come to protect you, not injure you. I have a force which will break down all opposition, and that will force is but the vanguard of much greater. If contrary to your own interest and the just expectations of my country, you should take part in the approaching contest. You will be considered and treated as enemies, and the horrors and calamities of war will stalk you. Yes, it was written in a stern manner.
Yes,
it was.
Henceforth, rape and pillage boys. Go!
That is a stern letter.
But here's the thing,
Dude, you know what, though? If he sounded like that, now, if he sounded girly...
It's in the sternest of terms, Mike. I don't care if
understand.
he had a girly voice.
No, but if he had a voice
me
like
back.
yours...
What about it? What if Lindsey Graham read it? What if he had a voice like Lindsey Graham?
Lindsey Graham.
Inhabitants of Canada, after 30 years of peace and prosperity, the United States has been driven to arms.
Go away.
The injuries and aggressions, the insults and indignities of Great Britain have once more left no alternative but manly resistance and unconditional submission.
No, that doesn't work. Dude. But if he sounded like you, what would have been
Bill Hall! Bill Hall! Yes, I will end all of you.
Stern! I can't believe that didn't work.
I will rape
did
your
that
women.
work?
Pillage your towns. Light them on fire.
If he had a voice like yours, here's what I suggest that would have worked even better. He should have got, I don't know, recorded this to an MP3, sent it over to the Canadians, and then they could play it on the megaphones for the town.
Oh, shit.
In Bill's voice. In the sternest of terms! Inhabitants of Canada, after 30 years of peace and prosperity,
blaring over
the United States have been driven to arms! The injuries and aggressions, the insults and indignities of Great Britain have once more left no alternative
Bill, you
but
can stop,
manly
Bill.
resistance or unconditional submission!
They're fleeing north, Bill. You can stop now. They're terrified.
How did that not work?
Well, unfortunately, I think he just Lutherized it. And,
What?
What?
I think he just kind of Lutheraned it and pinned a note to the door there.
Come on.
He
You know what I
tacked a
mean?
note to the door. You kick the door in and
I'm
slide it
taking
on.
an analogy.
You take away the whole...
Well, here's the thing.
whole
Here's the
thing
thing. You
if you
say
don't
that.
say it.
You ask why you think that whether he did it in a Lindsey Graham or an authoritative thing. The Brock.
Lindsey Graham.
Here's
He's
how
a
I would have
war
done
hawk.
it.
He's a
You're
war
not-
hawk.
Okay.
Hold on, E. We got to finish with Bill Hall, please. I think if you're going to do this, you stage your office in rich mahogany, obviously, that a leader like Bill Hall would have had. You get, and then someone films him, and he's got that pen with the huge feather on it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's dipping it in the ink, and he's got a stern look on his face like he's not fucking around.
I think you even consider a prosthetic, a leg or an arm.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
something like I've done battle.
Maybe a monocle. And he's in full dress. You know what I
I
mean?
come to protect, not injure you!
Yeah. And they can tell by the scowl
Here's the problem
and
with all
battle
this,
scars
dude.
on his face. And then, dude, what you do is you take that video, you post it on social media, blast it to
Blow
all
it
of
around.
Canada.
You boost the post.
And they would go,
Throw
dude, this
25
guy's not
bucks on
fucking
that.
around.
You boost it around to all Canadian, like in the
Oh,
region.
yeah. Oh, yeah. If
You can drill
boosted
down
it,
on demographics like crazy. Why didn't this work, E?
You look
Here's
where the most
problem.
populated
You won't even let
provinces
me
is, and
explain
bang.
it. Here's the problem. Hole was a pussy, and he was a known pussy.
Didn't sound like
Not
a
in the
pussy.
audio I heard. He sounded like a badass.
Well, Jay was doing a voice, but what if he'd done the Lindsey? You asked, well, what if it had been the Lindsey Graham voice, and people would have like, no
I
wonder.
choose to believe it was
Well-
Bill Hall's voice.
Well, Brock chose going after this area because it was known that Hull had a fear of the natives, and they would use American propaganda about native savagery.
Boy, it sounds to me like history was whitewashed on this
Yeah.
one. I refuse to believe that Bill Hall would have given in to that shit.
Well, he
Although, I don't
gave
fault-
up. He gave up. He was actually condemned. He was condemned he was court-martialed for cowardice and a negative duty in
Wow.
of negative
Is this
duty
written
in
by the Ty
surrendering
Cobb
fort.
biographer? I
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Yeah, L. Stump wrote this. Yeah.
This says Stump all over it.
Wool gave up Fort Detroit, where he outnumbered the people that gave him, and he had a fort. They sat
Wait,
there
he
and
didn't
just
believe it.
they just had Indians go.
Bill Hall does not go down without a fight!
That's right.
Well, they had Indians.
I will not hand over keys to my fort!
Isaac Brock.
Bill Hall goes
General-
down with the ship and you know it!
General Brock just had a small amount of Indians make loud noises and run
You
back
shall
and forth.
pry my rapier from my dying hands!
Well, he gave up the fort without even a fight.
Bill Hall would never give up a fort. Everything I know about Bill Hall,
I will never surrender this fort! History has been whitewashed in this instance, Biggie!
I believe his famous quote was, over my dead body, you will have to pry this gun off my dead
Bill Hall
fingers.
said that.
Bill
Google
Hall.
it.
Bill Hall!
Look at that fort.
Nobody just gets handed the keys to that fort.
Shit. Bill Hall's fort. Fort
Fake
Hall.
news, fake history.
Fake. This is bullshit.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
That is what happened.
Day in history.
And
Biggie.
by the way, to act like it's out of the realm of possibility that even a general or a big guy like Bill Hall would be somewhat scared of the savagery from the natives, dude, scalping would suck.
Yeah, that's
just a
that
thought.
was serious shit.
I mean,
You can say what you
in the night you hear the trampling of horses and in the distance, and it's like, oh fuck, they're gonna scalp me first. I'm Bill Hall, for Christ's sake. My scalp is a huge trophy. Please. These guys terrify me. Let's attack Canada.
Well, based on my readings, there's an argument to be made that this pussy who gave up the fort for no fight possibly could have really. We didn't lose the War of 1812, but we didn't win it. It ended on a standstill. And this fight,
that could have tipped it.
Well, a lot of people look back to this fight where people of Canada and Britain started to realize, like, hey, we just thought we were going to win no matter what and take all this Canada land. And it was like, wow, America's not that big. And so
So what you're telling me is Stump had motive to create this narrative.
Yep.
Got it.
Sure.
So
Thanks, E.
let's just lastly break this down really quick, what E just delivered right there. He basically said one of our finest leaders in Detroit was a pussy, and
a drunk.
And a drunk. And he also said it would have been better if we stole Canada's land. How does that make you feel,
No,
Canadians?
that's not what I'm saying.
Do you know how many
Neighbors
Canadians
What
What
I'm
was
saying
it,
is that was the
OUR?
war,
Oh,
and
you
there's an
were?
argument to be made that this pussy William Hall, who gave up Fort Detroit for nothing,
Hall to you.
lost the War of
E, I think
1812.
you need to be a bit more discerning in the history that you present us.
He solely on his own lost the War of 1812 for America. You can make that argument.
I refuse to believe that Bill Hall did that.
Not that Bill Hall. Please, take it back. Blasphemous.
Well, that's my report.
Oh, Bill Hall is
Those are my
absolutely
findings.
rolling over in his grave.
That's what I've gotten in my findings.
That's what Google told you, huh? Well, gentlemen.
Douglas.
Shifting gears.
And then we're gonna hand a best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend a hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug. Properly dugged.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas at 248-765-1781 and let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your real estate transaction dreams a reality. Call him 248-765-1781 and ask for fellow Detroitcast listener Doug Steinert.
Douglas.
I did want to add this, Jay, just because for the show, I thought this might be interesting. That essentially the War of 1812 at one point started, and there was many reasons, which began after President James Madison sent a letter of grievances he had with with Britain to the
nicely airing
Congress.
grievances.
So,
Absolutely.
grievances have been being
letter
aired
of
since
grievances.
the War of 1812 all the way up until the Detroit cast.
Rich history of grievance
That's
airing.
right.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at this girl, would you guys? What do you think?
No, she looks like she's about 13.
Does she?
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm attracted to her. The fullness of that right titty, stage left, is not bad, right, E?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's been raped, it sounds like, numerous times. Well, if you're to believe her. Earlier this year, she's actually 21, Jay. She's getting a little old.
Wow.
A couple good years
Honestly,
left in her.
I would guess 13 to 14. That's
Really?
amazing.
Look at that stage left titty again. Pay attention to the fullness there. That's not a 13-year-old's titty.
But look at the Cash Me Outside girl. She's barely 14 and she's got huge titties.
Does she?
Yes.
What are you
It's
looking
the
at?
milk. It's the hormones in the milk.
Why is E staring at 14-year-old's titties?
E,
dude?
stop it.
Fuck. That's like, it's a starter drug for pedophilia. You know that, right?
Okay.
If you're
Come
already
on, Big
eyeballing-
E. Is that all you got?
She put herself in the spotlight.
We just found our child in the woods murdering animals. That's basically what just happened right there.
That's her?
Yeah, those are huge titties. She's 14.
I think she just turned 14.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I don't buy it. Someone's lying. It's falsehoods. Anyway, this 21-year-old woman claimed she was attacked and raped at Delta College in a parking lot there at Delta College after a lengthy police investigation. The story kind of fell apart. Now she's being charged with a felony.
Wow.
Good.
It has to majorly fall apart for them to charge her. Wow.
Oh, well, let me give you some details, and we'll see how, I don't know, insane this girl is. Her name is Mary Zolkowski, and she voluntarily appeared in court, in district court, on one count of false report of a felony. The charge is punishable by 4 years, and I hope they give her all 4 years. February 22nd, her mom calls the police department there, or actually the school's public police department, and is like, oh, my God, my daughter's been raped on campus. And she also had little Mary on the phone as well. She said that she'd been raped on campus and about 5:30 p.m. She was walking to her vehicle, fumbling with her keys when a man out of nowhere grabbed her from behind.
Let me guess, a black man.
He grabbed her face and her throat, proceeded to rape her. Not wearing a shit.
It's condom.
I know.
A
Don't help me. Don't. No.
A Jimmy.
Yeah, that what he said. He did not wear one of those. So that's pretty detailed, you know. When it was over, the assailant jumped into the passenger seat of a vehicle and took off. She could not provide a description of the vehicle.
Did she say it was a black dude, honestly?
No, I don't think so. She was like, oh, I kind of blacked out. She was very vague on details. So she told police she did not want a physical exam. That would be a tip-off as to, why would you not want that? The next day, she met with Delta's Title IX coordinator, Lois Brown. She allegedly told them she had dropped her courses due to this incident. I mean, I'm so shaken. I've dropped all my classes. And they just quickly looked at the records and went, oh, no, you dropped your classes like a week ago before this incident. So that's
now
bullshit.
I gotcha.
Zolkowski added her neck and back were sore, but of course there was no bruising or anything like that. She did not want to be involved in a police investigation, too shaken by this. March 17th, Chad Battenkoff and Brown, the Title IX coordinator, again met with Zolkowski. She told them she had been raped by an acquaintance earlier in the day. Can you imagine this person's luck?
I know.
Raped by an acquaintance and then raped.
Well, I told you that story a couple months ago. That did happen.
Yeah.
To an unfortunate victim in London, I believe it was.
At this point, it's happened to Mary, too. It's tragic. And the idea that someone would be so brazen to rape someone at 5:30 in the afternoon in a public parking lot without anyone seeing it. Crazy. So she was at this apartment. She was a little drunk, could not give consent for sexual activity. After the assault, she drove the man to Delta College. Zolkowski went on to apologize for the confusion and said, "Man, I don't want to prosecute the guy." Police interviewed him anyways, and the guy that she named as the assailant, he provided investigators with text messages they had exchanged in which she claims to have been raped by a stranger at Walmart after they had sex.
Oh my God.
Yeah, can you believe that? So this guy rapes her. She ends up giving him a drive to school. She goes to Walmart. She's raped again. And then she finally gets back to class or whatever at 5:30, and fuck, wouldn't you know it, raped there too. Incredible. So after police had, they looked at another message. Let's see. She had texted him and said, "Yeah, don't play along with the police." The man went on to tell police that she had told him she was trying to get a refund from the college. So, I dropped all my classes over this. I need a refund. May 12th. These two, the investigator and the Title IX chick, interview her again. Since their last time with her, she's filed a report with the police department claiming the man she had grievously named had shoved her to the floor and raped her too. She again changed her story to say that she had willingly had intercourse with that man. She added she wanted to tell the man to stop during the act, but it ended before she could, which is, kind of a cheap shot, Basically like, oh, yeah, he started to rape me, and I was just about to go, no, stop raping me, and then he finished. And it's like, okay, so you're going to,
She didn't want to be on record, though.
Yeah.
I would be like, just for the record, even though you're done, I want you to know, I did not consent. You raped me.
You raped me, and, the only reason I don't want to press charges is because he was, in fact, a Minuteman. It lasted literally, he barely put the helmet in, and then, boom, he blew up. So, that's just a crazy person, right?
That sounds like it. Sounds like she has some issues. I feel bad for
needing
her.
attention.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Should we do another story here, Jay? We got Elvis.
You can't cover Elvis in a matter of minutes, Mike.
I know, but does it matter tomorrow?
Well, he'll still be dead tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he will, but everyone's celebrating today. I mean, the party's now.
Let's quickly celebrate.
All right. But it involves a clip. Edie, you have the clip? Because I have a clip from an archive footage documentary done like when Elvis died.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to see the procession and people's reaction. It's quite incredible.
So this is outside Graceland.
Yeah.
From all over the country.
Hold on, you got something else playing.
Elvis Presley Boulevard.
Start it over, because I love hearing the old broadcast to see. Right. Yeah, 1977. Everything's looking up for us.
Here on Elvis Presley Boulevard in Memphis.
Thousands of fans
Looks like my
from
all over the
childhood.
country
Yeah.
are converging on Graceland, trying to get in to view the body of the 42-year-old
That Amico
King
sign,
of
the
rock and roll.
umbrellas, the prints on the shirts.
The world
saw
is
some
aware
Amico
of
sign.
It looks like my
Presley's
childhood.
sudden death after
Wait, is that an
attempts to
Alcoa
save his
can't
life
wait in the
failed.
background?
The apparent cause,
Look at these
according
people.
to his
Those
personal
tracks,
physician,
tennis shoes?
Dr.
Out
George
cold.
Nicopolis,
Security carrying someone who's
is a heart
fainted.
attack.
Oh my God.
These people on the ground.
Oh, you
has
mix the
requested
heat
that
and the
an autopsy
news and
be performed.
Look, smelling
Smelling
salts.
salts.
Salts
Hell
make an
yes.
appearance.
I was raised on Elvis.
Hell
When it
yeah.
started when I was 10 years old. My
Yep.
mother and daddy loved him. And I
Hold it
just
together.
say I was
Hold it
raised
together.
on him. There's nobody else
Every
like
time I
him.
see
There
a
won't
scary
ever be
Negro out
anybody
there, I
else
just think
like
of
him.
Elvis.
As far
Makes
as I'm
everything
concerned.
fixed.
Why go to all this trouble?
Because we love Elvis.
Look at this
Still
woman.
do.
Who's number 89 in the background?
It's Wes Chandler.
Doesn't make any difference. I'm friends with quite a few of the people
Look at
in
these
the
guys.
group,
Let me in here, man.
and
I got something to
I want
say.
them to know I'm here. Maybe they'll see me on the street. We
And
love
let me
him
in.
very much.
Pause for
I
a
just
second.
can't
Pause.
believe he's dead.
Did you hear what that lady
It's
just said?
terrible.
Yeah.
But I just
She
think
claimed in a weird way, like he's like, yeah, you know, you're not going to get in there to see him, don't you? You know, there's thousands of people out
She
here.
just made a pitch to get backstage.
Yeah, she did. She was like,
I'll show you my tits.
Well,
Essentially.
she was like, well, actually, I know some people in there. Have you ever heard of Colonel Tom Parker? How about Dr. Nick? I know them personally. I'm hoping that they'll see me out here and bring me in. It's like, yeah, in the sea of people. Are you insane, lady? You're not even that hot.
Like they're
You're
watching
not
TV.
getting in there.
Holy shit, Nancy's out there. Somebody, go get Nancy.
Go, quick, she's crying. She appears to be upset. She needs to be in here mourning with us. Go ahead. Look, this woman's crying way too much.
Whether you're black or white,
Oh, boy.
whether you're country, redneck, or freak, young or old,
Well put.
from Moscow, London, or Memphis,
Memphis.
Elvis Presley will still be the king of rock and roll to me.
Yep.
Are we sure that wasn't Elvis himself?
That kind of sounded like the king himself, man. Well, they had 10,000 people showed up yesterday. Tens of thousands, excuse me, joined the family. There was Priscilla was there, and Lisa Marie. They were greeting fans before this event. Lisa Marie lit candles for mourners as they gathered to remember the king, man. Holding their lights, longtime fan Fred Schwartz came from Illinois, said Tuesday that he and his wife had been to several vigils and have enjoyed them, but not this year. Oh, no. Fred, what happened?
It's the 40th.
Well, why, of all years, why
know.
would Fred decide not to? I've been there, I love it, man, but not this year.
What happened?
He's got a grievance. You want to know what Fred's grievance is?
Too commercial.
It's gone corporate, man. They're
Yeah.
charging too much of a
Yeah.
price. It's too expensive now. They want $28 to get in here. It's outrageous. I'm not going. So Fred took a knee this year. Not doing it.
Every man has his line, right? It's like $24 last year. That okay.
I'll give him 24, but God damn it, I'm not giving him a penny more. Not one. And so Fred's out. 20, dude, you drive from Illinois every year to Memphis. Dude, what are we talking? One fill-up?
I think you just have to budget that. Say, hey, dude, it's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know $28 is a lot of money, but he's out now, man. I cannot stand this charge. I look forward to going down there this year, and they come up with all this. I don't even go to Memphis anymore. The people running that are not Elvis fans. They are in business corporations. They want the bottom line. He's accusing the family of bottom lining them. And the family's argument is, look, man, you assholes come out here every year. We got to provide security. It costs money. We're just trying to recoup some of that, you know? So anyway, others didn't mind the charge for that reason. It goes along with the territory, the popularity of the king, man. Priscilla and Lisa thanked the crowd for their love. And then all the Elvis fanatics began a slow procession through Graceland. Thousands of fans holding white candles then made a slow, silent walk through the graves on the property. Elvis died, by the way, heart attack at the age of 42.
On the toilet.
And they said in Graceland. And I was like, no, not in Graceland, on the shitter in Graceland. Come on, dude, if you die on the shitter, you can't leave. Oh, well, he died in Graceland.
I guess, generally speaking.
Yeah. Remember, everybody, it was this day, 40 years ago today, that Elvis was taking a good, healthy, long dump. He just had one of those famous nanner sandwiches and a fried hot dog. It was too much for the king. And while he was releasing his bowels, it was too much. Now, that was the last we saw of the king. He died on the shitter.
You aren't calling Elvis strung out, are you?
By God, I'm talking to somebody else, ladies and gentlemen.
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the
roots. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
No Elvis discussion would be complete without that drop.
No. I keep thinking of Linda Thompson's book, too. I don't know why, but I just find myself laughing at the absurd. Linda, get out of the room. It's like he's offended by something on the TV. Linda, I'm not going to ask you again. Go on, get out of the room. She closes the door behind her. Boom! Puts 5 bullets into the TV because you don't know what's on there. Who was it? It was like Wayne Newton or something. Doing it. Linda, I'm going to ask you nice. I'm only going to ask you one time. Get out of the room. She's like, okay. And then, Daddy. And then everyone comes rushing up. Elvis, is everything okay? He's like, everything's fine. I need you to grab me a new TV. This one's broke. He tells him, this one's broke.
That son of a bitch.
Linda, I'm going to need you to get out of the car. Remember
one of a kind. Oh, yeah, the Pantera, right?
Elvis, please, we can take the other car. No, Linda, I'm only going to tell you to get out of the car.
To this day, that sits in a museum with his bullet holes.
Bullet holes. And then he stepped out and everyone's going, come on, King, it's okay. Back off, everybody. I got to do this. Boom, boom. Puts 10 bullet holes into his car. Expensive sports car. Oh, I love it.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
All right, buddy. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we'll pick it up tomorrow. That'll be the last of the week, right?
Yeah, by my count.
Yeah, very good. Well, have a great rest of the day, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.